The hardest one of them all, though, is the arpeggio. Let me move to the chop section. And this time you have a number of preparations. So let's just start with this first one, the C arpeggio. I'll start on the C, and then I'll put my 2 finger on the top of the chord, which is the G, so that I can expand to my thumb on C. Now notice it goes up 1 note, and it says the 3rd finger. So I have to flip my hand over and play that 3rd finger, and then the 2 finger, and it comes back down with the 3, and then the thumb on C, and finish on the D or the G with your 2nd finger. Practice that over and over until it becomes so easy you don't have to think about it. Once you get this one, every other chord is the same. So let's get this fast. And then move to the next chord, which is the D. So basically you slide your hand up and do the same thing with the D chord. Notice it's the same feel, so if you can do it by feel, everything else is identical. Practice that until you can get it fast. And then we'll move to the F chord next. Oh, this is the D major 7. Okay, so this is the first time that we have to actually talk about the difference between the little m and the D7. So what is the difference between a DM and a D7, and what does that even mean? The DM actually means D minor. So the D minor chord, if I play that for you, this is major D, and the minor D has only the difference of an F sharp. So the minor is all white notes here. The major takes that middle note and raises it up. And you'll notice a big difference in sound from that, which a lot of people say it sounds happy, and a lot of people say that sounds sad. So when we do an arpeggio, every time we see an F, if it's minor, you'll play the F as white. If it's major, you'll play the F sharp, and you can hear the difference between those. So let's go ahead and look at this D7 chord. This is the major 7. Go to the sharp. Same pattern. The only thing you change there is that you add a sharp at the end. Practice that till you get it really fast, and then let's move to the next chord. This one's easy. It feels just like the C chord and the D minor chord. Cross over to the 3-2-1 or 3-2, and then come backwards. Practice the F chord until you get it fast, and it is super easy for you. And then we'll go to the G chord. This one's nice because it's also the same exact feel as the C, F, and D minor chord. Just flip over, play 3-2, and back, thumb. Practice that over. And then finish it. And finally we'll move to the A chord. The A chord, this one is a major chord. And the A chord, this is a minor chord. The major chord actually has a C sharp in the middle. So as I play any C, that would be a C minor. We need the major, so we just add that C sharp at the end. Cross over to 3-2 on the sharp, come back to 3-1-2. Practice that over and over until you're ready to pass it off. Pass it off, and then when you get those, the next step is that we will put them in succession. C chord. Move to the D and do the same thing. This is D7, so this time we have to add a sharp at the top, Move to the F position, and I just slide my hand over and get it ready. Move to the G position. Move to the A position. Add the sharp at the top. Now I'll give you just a tip real fast. When I start learning these, instead of thinking each note individually, which you just don't have time to do, your brain can't comprehend those, you need to get the feel of that arpeggio so you can think of other things. I just get that over and over and over and memorize the feel. Then stop looking at your hand and see if you can do it strictly by feel. Now, if you can do this, look away from your hand and feel the next position. Not looking at your hand at all, just feel it. And then move up 2 notes without looking at your hand. Slide, slide. So I did that all by feel. And my ear will tell me if I got a wrong note. Ah, that's the right one. So you don't even need to look at your hand. And the last one is a sharp. So practice those until you can do them without even looking at your hand, and you're doing it instead of looking at the notes, that you're doing it by feel. All right. And then you are ready to try putting these together. Actually, you get a chance to do it from memory. Okay, so let's do this one now from memory. D, D7, F, G, and A. Very cool. I believe the next step is we gotta do only the left hand.
Set, go.
Another C. We move to the F and back to C. And this one will go a half one so we can prepare for the A. D. This is the minor. We switch to major with the sharp at the top, and another half arpeggio will stop and go down to the C. Another G, and we'll jump down to C. You'll find that if you've practiced your arpeggios, that this is not too hard to do. But you have to get this really, really good before you move to the next section, or you will be hating life. This gets excruciatingly hard, but it sounds super cool. You sound like a professional pianist. But all you have to do is work it into your motor memory. You have to learn how to feel this instead of thinking so much. And once you've learned this pattern, you could take these arpeggios into any song. There are a lot more tricks that I'll teach you, but this is kind of the culminating one. I'm going to add some tips at the end, but let's go ahead and just work our way through this hardest part. The arpeggios, hands together. C chord. That one should take you a long time. Take it as slow as you need and just keep practicing until you get it perfected. Then move on to the next section. That's an A chord, D minor, Same chord, except we'll add a sharp at the top in G. And we'll pause on the end. Next step, we put both of those together. Practice that until you get 100. This should take you a while. We'll move over to the chorus, lead me, guide me. That should also take you a while. We'll move to the end of the song. That one is also hard. And then we put the last half together. This is from the chorus to the end. And finally, we arrive at the whole song, hands together, in rhythm.
2, set, go.
And there you have it, the entire song. Now that is step 9.